Well, welcome. This is episode 3 of It's Like That, where we talk about all things real estate in Madison, Wisconsin. And today we're going to talk about our favorite eats and the culinary scene. But before we get to that, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Katie Kolakowski, and I'm with City RE.
Janae Wood with Start Company Realtors.
And Tiffany Tobias with Start Company Realtors.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah. So we usually start with a fun tidbit also too before we get to our favorite topics. And we started out with Janae did a fact. Tiffany covered some definitions, and today I wanted to cover a question that we often see or receive, and that is, when is the best time to list here in Madison, Wisconsin? And as an agent, Madison is ever growing, as we've talked about before too, and I don't really think that there's a wrong time to list at this current time because it is still a seller's market. We're still seeing under 2 months of inventory, which means that if everything stopped, it would take about between a month and a half to 2 in some parts, depending what neighborhood you live in, to sell. And so I just think that there is no wrong time. However, we are seeing parts of the year that are a little bit more favorable than others. And so do you all want to discuss like what that sounds like?
Yeah, I think we all get that question from our clients who are thinking about selling or are ready to sell. So how I typically answer it is, look, historically, there's going to be data that the best time to sell is in the spring. Early to late spring, we tend to see prices peak, in May, June time. So best time to list could be February, March, April, May. However, like you said, there's no bad time. If you need to sell because of a job change or a life change, there are many reasons why people have to sell, then now is the right time if that's what you need to do, and there will be buyers out there. But if you're really looking just to hit that peak season, that tends to be the spring.
It's typically the spring.
Yeah. I think that's true. I also think what you're both saying is true. I mean, I feel like when I'm talking to a seller, I'm saying your house is going to sell. It's just that if we're timing it right, it might sell for more sometimes, it might sell for a little bit less. I like to stay away personally from holiday weeks, like big holidays going on, whether that's 4th of July, Memorial Weekend, Labor Day weekend, just because of people traveling. And I've always found for myself that July's been a little bit of a slower month. I kind of feel like that's just because people are coming off school and maybe, and I don't know because I don't have kids, but I'm thinking a lot of it comes into maybe summer school a little bit, and then they're getting to that July month is kind of that vacation month where a lot of people are gone.
I think same with August too, because we see a bump then again in September.
Yeah.
So I always felt like you've got the vacation period before kids have to go back to school.
Getting people ready for school. I do see that we see a dip typically in the fall because people do want, if they do have a family and the school system matters, or just being in a place that's planted, grounded, and ready to go to school, that especially for families, that's why we kind of see that drop down, is they really like to be in a house before school starts.
Same thing on the listing side in spring. Some of those like bigger homes in those sought after school districts, I kind of feel like it can potentially be a little bit too early sometimes for those larger homes in those sought after school districts. It's a little bit more advantageous maybe to list a little bit closer to the end of the school year.
That's
people
a good point.
Don't want to move during the school year.
Yeah, they want to close in the summer versus moving during the school year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of factors that play into it. Yeah, that's a really good point that you made. I wasn't thinking about that.
And price point.
And price point.
I mean, price point always plays a big part here.
Yeah, and I feel like November, December, there's just this mind frame right around Thanksgiving, December. I love if people hang on for December and be house hunting. You can catch some fabulous deals late to mid-fall, kind of almost even Halloween. People start getting in that holiday mind frame, and you can just really do some great things if you're a buyer, but buyers are still out there, is my point as well, if you're a seller. So if life things happen, it's not the end of the world to list at that point in Madison.
Right, and weather can also affect it too, right? If we have just freezing cold weather in February, you're probably going to hold until things get a little bit warmer, because they might not want to come out of their house yet to come look at your place.
Yeah.
You know what I think the worst is when you have a new listing and you schedule pictures and you get pictures and it snows that day.
Yeah.
And then because we're in Madison, Wisconsin, the next day it's 72 degrees and it looks nice, and so the pictures
look dated.
Look like they're dated because we
Yeah.
don't get our snow for a few weeks.
Right.
I mean, it's like you have a few weeks in there where it's just like you're just taking a risk. You're like,
and as a seller, you want it to look its best, but you can't predict what's
Yeah,
going to happen.
but you want it to look like it just went on the market, and it really did. But no, it was 40 yesterday and it's 82 today.
I did one in an ice storm. The photographer took pictures, which actually looked kind of pretty when the trees are all covered in ice. But his car was like going down the driveway after he took the pictures. It was not ideal time to be doing that, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly, I agree. You gotta do what you gotta do. The weather's gonna be what it's gonna be. When I personally was listing my condo in Denver, not here in Madison, our condo association there was in a little bit of rough shape, so the snow made it look a lot prettier. So also too, it can make your photos look dated, or it could take a property that needs a little love on the outside and just make it look. All right, well, moving along, one of our 3 favorite things, not only do we have animals in common, dogs in particular, but we all like to eat. So I would say that's all 3 of our hobbies. And so I know taking naps is high up on the list as well. However, the culinary scene here in Madison, I find, is fantastic, having lived in multiple parts of the country. And I know that we all kind of have some favorite things to do and favorite places to be, or favorite foods that we have too in Madison. So what do you all see? What do you all like?
I'm letting her kick it off because this is a gal who was so excited about this being our podcast title.
Yes,
and,
I have
and
lots
had a
of
list of places. So I'm going to let her kick it off.
It is my hobby. So I actually was on a job interview once at the VA in my career before this, and they ask you if you have any hobbies, and I've always felt awkward because I don't have any. I don't knit, I don't write what I think should be a hobby, so I actually said, well, I like to go out to eat a lot. Came in runner-up, did not get the job. I don't know if that made the difference. But I do.
I would have hired you.
I do love to go out to eat. So what I wanted to focus on was the mix of 2 of my favorite things, nice weather in Madison and food. And so that was looking at outdoor patios with food. And there are so many great ones, and yes, I will highlight those that you can bring your dog to as well. But one of my favorite new places in town is Atico, which is at the top of the Moxie Hotel.
I've seen your pictures. I want to go there. Yeah, I've not been there.
Fantastic. Now, Madison has had too many taco places, in my opinion, and this is not a taco place, but it's more of a Argentinian flair menu. So you can get tacos, you can get other types of food. They've got guacamole and chips, but craft cocktails, gorgeous space with a beautiful art mural, and then an outdoor patio on the rooftop, so you can look out over the East Washington corridor, which is just such a cool place to see now. You can see to Bree Stevens Field. I mean, when I think about what Madison used to look like coming into the city and what it looks like now, what a huge improvement. It's just beautiful, and this is one of my favorite places to go, and so I tell everybody about it. Another one that has to be mentioned, and for anybody who comes to Madison from out of state and is moving here, Memorial Union Terrace. You have to go. The best bar in Madison by far. They've got all sorts of food that you can pick from, and you can bring your dog, but you have to stay by the water, by the picnic tables, because otherwise security will find you, and I've been yelled at many a times that we have to keep being shushed down to the water.
With the stroller?
I haven't done it with the stroller yet.
See?
I know, I need to do that. It was always with him. We just go and sit on a bench together, and apparently that wasn't okay. But I will try the stroller. Good point. All right, so can I keep going? Because I'll go on forever and ever. Yeah. I'll name a few, and then we'll come back to more, because there's just too many good ones. There's a new wine bar in town that also has, I think, some snacks, but they have food carts outside. It's called Glau Glau, and it is in the Near West neighborhood, right outside of University Heights on Allen and Regent Street. And this place, it used to be, back in the day, the Froth House Cafe. Then it was the Heights Kitchen. It's right behind Regent Street Co-op grocery store.
Okay.
It's a really lovely place inside, but they've got a great outdoor quiet patio that you can just go have a glass of wine or some vermouth, which we just did this couple of weekends ago, and then grab empanadas or whatever food truck is there like that week. So to me, that's just a really cool mix.
Yeah, I love that. You like outdoor, you can boat too.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in the summer specifically, I love outdoor dining anywhere. I just feel like it's always a different atmosphere. Certainly,
It's like vacation.
And I don't want to be inside in the summer. I know there's like people that are like, I can't eat in the heat, and I'm like, oh, bring it on, because I want to sit outside if I have the opportunity. We don't have that much time to do it. I really like to do dining on the lake though, because we have our boat. You know, we live right off of Monona, so I mean, for me, if I want to go out to dinner, I like to figure out how can I get there by boat. So Union, obviously.
Yep.
Memorial's a big place. Great opportunity to stop. It's easy to park there, and like you said, food, beer, music, anything that you want there. Also on Lake Mendota, I love Edgewater and the boathouse.
Yes, yeah, those are great.
Yeah, so you can get like obvious full meals at either one of them, but
different kinds of meals.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah, things that are quick and to go, kind of down at the boathouse and sitting outside. But then they have, they have music while you eat too. I mean, we know we talked about that last episode, but again, another similar place. I love on Monona. There's not. So Monona it's hard because if the weather is we haven't gotten a lot of rain is what I should say. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to dock to some places on Monona. But like we're members of the Elks Club, so that's an easy place to dock and grab something to eat, and you can like walk right up to Sardine right there. Right, and
anyone can go to the Elks Club? I've never been. Do you have to be a member?
You don't have to be a member for a lot of the events that take place, and they have like trivia nights. They have all different to come and eat, like fish fry and things like that. But to actually like park in your boat there, and for certain nights and certain events, you do have to be a member.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But then I like so I'm gonna go down from there, and then I'll end over at where my favorite breakfast places on the lake, but. I love to go down near the Hara. Right there you have Breakwater.
I love that. That whole strip.
And you have Breakwater, you have Buck and Honey's. But what's nice about that too is if you don't want to like sit somewhere like a Breakwater or a Buck and Honey's, sit outside, obviously they both serve alcohol, they have drinks, what have you, is you can literally get off and you can walk. You have a Forge Kitchen right there, True Coffee. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on that little strip. And the tasting room, which is the cigar and wine bar there. So a lot of different places.
And then Christie's and Wabisa. I know we talked about that last episode, playing volleyball there, but
they have great food.
Yeah, their food is legit.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good atmosphere.
In Lake Wabisa, like one of my favorite things to do in the morning, because it opens at 7 a.m., is go to the Green Lantern for breakfast. You can drive your boat over there, dock there in the morning. Sometimes there's a line, sometimes there's not, but they have great Bloody Marys. They have phenomenal breakfast. Whether you like fish and eggs or just something really simple.
Fish and eggs.
Like walleye and eggs.
Together?
Yeah.
Yes, that's a thing. It is a thing. It is a thing.
You're on the Wisconsin lakes. You get walleye and eggs.
But no, I think like, again, I know we've said this before, but living in Madison is just so great. I mean, especially like I said for myself, if that's my interest to go and stay kind of on the water and find places to eat, I can tell you we're not going to the same places. We're able to mix it up a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's great.
How about you?
Well, on my bio, it specifically says I have no problem eating ice cream for dinner after a long day. So I feel like very familiar with a lot of the ice cream places around Madison. One of the things that we have a tradition that we kind of started last time, we at Stark, we volunteered at Ronald McDonald House. Yeah. And so Tammy Hansen always gets us together to go to Blue Moon after, kind of just has like a bonding experience. And so one of the things that I loved about that is we would just truck down the street to Ice Cream Social. And I don't know if you all know, but she was featured on Kelly Clarkson's show. She started making ice cream kind of as a hobby and then selling it and then donating back to social justice causes. And I just love her unique flavors. She's got gluten-free ice cream. I just think that she's got a lot of just original things that I've never tried but that are so delicious if you're willing to experiment with ice cream. But then she's got some old classics too, which are favorites. So just a lot of diversity there.
So I'm not an ice cream person. So I'm not going to probably know any of these places. But when you say like different types of ice cream, is it like different like if you're willing to try, like what would that be?
Like really unique stuff.
Yeah, unique stuff.
Right?
Yeah, like lavender mixed in with ice cream, or just like a classic vanilla. There's like butter brickle, so just like kind of unique flavors that you wouldn't typically see. Where Chocolate Shop ice cream is also a local favorite here in Madison, and they'll run the gambit from classics like vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, but then and also to a Wisconsin favorite, which is Blue Moon. And so that's like kind of a lemony blue raspberry. It's really good with nerds if you haven't tried that before, or
oh
Fruit
my God, that'd be an overload of sweetness. I think she had like maple syrup and bacon or something when I was there.
Back at Ice Cream Social. Yeah, she's just got some creative classics, even mixing like things that everybody knows like Oreos in with ice cream, but at the same time just dropping in a couple subtle flavors that people may or may not be used to. And back to Chocolate Shop, those are kind of everywhere and popular here in Madison, and they've got some good flavors, some different creative flavors. I love like their coffee and espresso flavors of ice cream. But it's just fun to go grab an ice cream cone, sit at a local shop, sit outside, or walk the streets and window shop while you're doing so.
And don't forget Babcock.
You gotta get the Union,
right? Again, Memorial Union Terrace. You can do everything there.
Yeah, Babcock on the Union. Yep.
Well, and now is the season. All right, that's making me hungry. Well, I think the ice cream social owner, I think she started during the pandemic.
Yep,
right?
2020.
Which made me think of good things to come out of COVID was in eating outside was the Streetery off of King Street.
Oh,
so we've got Lucille's Merchant, Settle Down Tavern, and King Street as well. Like both of those streets now are all outdoor dining, and they didn't used to be. So if you're gonna have something come out of it, at least that was a positive one. Just more places to eat outside.
Well, and just unique settings too. Like I know one place that Tiffany and I like to go to just to catch like a quick nosh before like a show or something is Garver Feed Mill, and it has Ian's Pizza in there with like salads and pizza, and they have their mac and cheese pizza. And there's Ian's locations everywhere, but it's just something about sitting in Garver in like this industrial building that's a hodgepodge of businesses. That also too, Glitterworks is over there, which is my favorite like local artisan craft boutique. But it's just something about that location and just kind of the atmosphere, like we're talking about, whether it's outdoor, whether it's rooftop, but like just kind of sitting in the middle of that.
I don't, that's
I like
funny
that vibe.
because I go there all the time, and I didn't think about that until you mentioned it. But and I'm not a huge pizza person, but I'm like shocked at how good their salad bar is.
Yeah, no, I love that
their
salad.
salads
For Ian's?
Yeah.
That's what I've,
It's
a lot of
delish.
people go there for lunch, I think.
Yeah, it is so good.
Yeah, I agree. And I think for me, like one of my favorite things to do too is pick a restaurant that's downtown, because I live out in the burbs, and so I like to pick a restaurant downtown, and then I always like to get a beverage or a nightcap overlooking like the hotel that like overlooks the Capitol.
Vino?
Yes. Yes.
One of the best views in Madison ever.
Well, actually,
from the
women's
bathroom.
From
the women's bathroom is legit.
Whole other podcast, best bathrooms in Madison.
We'll save that.
Yeah, and I love like the countertop, and you can just kind of like sit in the high stools. There's something about swinging your feet while watching sunset like over the Capitol.
Absolutely.
I just absolutely love ending like a good culinary, regardless of what you're eating on the square.
Yep.
Like I just love. I'm always like nightcap Fedino Vino, so head right on over there and get that. But they have good food too, so.
Yes, they do. Well, and I've always had this thought. I don't know if you guys have ever thought of it. This list is just sort of making it easier for me because we have such amazing food, and it's at all price levels, and we tend to pick the same ones all the time.
Oh, that's us too.
To keep a list and just go alphabetically to places, that are, we usually stick around downtown or near east to near west is kind of, our circle, but to just try to go through things alphabetically. So we're actually trying new places that we're missing because we just just keep going back to our standards that
Yeah.
we love.
I hear that. Like, if you all have, like, some quick shout-outs for me, like, I think we should go around the table and do just quick shout-outs of, like, our standard favorite. Like, I know in our household we love Tornado Room, we love Tempest, we love Saigon Noodles. So good. So for pho, it's so good on the wet. It's just, I love that place. It's like, it's Mike. I just had him drive from the east side to the west side. He sent me pictures like this, legit, and I was like, yeah. So, those are kind of like my three favorites. But yeah, just their vermicelli bowl, comfort food, super delish.
I can piggyback off that. Love Tempest.
Yeah.
Favorite that I always tell people: Greenbush Pizza. On Regent Street, go downstairs. It almost feels like a speakeasy, but best thin crust pizza.
Yeah.
Nothing beats it. Also, love Red.
Yeah.
The sushi sometimes needs to be a little smaller so you can actually bite it without, looking ridiculous as you're eating it. But it's delicious. So love Red, and then just casual. We have once a week probably. Taste of India on Monroe Street.
Yeah.
Love Indian food.
You have some quick shout outs?
Yeah, well, I was going to say Red. I mean, if I'm going to, Red's one of my favorites downtown for sure. I would put that at the top. And honestly, I like Mexican so much. We like tacos. So I'm all about like, hey, where are we going to find, and it doesn't have to be the same place. So it's just kind of, I know you had said there's a lot of taco places, which there is.
Yeah.
So it's really easy to be
around.
like, hey, let's try somewhere to go get tacos and just go to a few different places. But I mean, I'm a fan of Forage too, just because it's right by my house. I think
quick,
I go
easy,
there.
and healthy.
Yeah, just because it's right by my house. But like, I probably go there a couple times a week for lunch. Like just to grab something quick.
It's hard to choose. I feel like I choose based on my mood
Yeah.
too. Like, what do I want for the atmosphere inside as well as the food?
Yep.
Who's got good drinks?
What's awesome though is that I don't think it matters what community you live in. Like, it doesn't matter if you're downtown, if you're east, west, if you're in Verona, Cottage Grove. I mean, all of our smaller, smaller suburbs versus, like, the actual epicenter of Madison have fantastic restaurants.
Yeah.
I mean, when people come to visit, and they say, okay, I want X, I want a steak. I'm like, okay, well, there's 67 choices.
Right.
Friday night fish fry, which we didn't even get to touch base on.
We didn't even
that's
talk
a whole
about that.
We
Yeah.
didn't talk about it. That's a whole different line.
We are spoiled, and if people are wondering like why we talk about these kinds of things too, it's also what makes Madison so great and why we rate so high on all these lists of best places to live too. I mean, look at the outdoor stuff we talked about on the last podcast. Now we've got all of these great places to eat.
Yeah, and I don't think, like Tiffany said, that you could choose a home in the wrong area. We will definitely recommend some great restaurants there.
What do we got? East side, central, west side. That's where we've got things covered in terms of geography, I bet.
That's good.
Absolutely.
All right. Well,
That was fun. We could have probably spent another 20 more minutes.
Yeah, we'll come back to food. We might be eating during one of them.
Yeah.
It's definitely making me hungry.
Maybe we'll do like a taste testing.
Ooh, yeah, take it on the road.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be good. Well, thank you for joining us again. We look forward to seeing you on our episode 4 with that It's Like That, Madison, Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Thank you.